So back to the Jaguar water leak, and so I was doing some water testing over the weekend, and I think I may have found what it is that's causing the problem inside. So I'll just take you through where I started, and it's been drizzling a little bit today, and there's a bit more water build up inside today, which is enough to show you. So I was looking at the seams on the car and the potential areas where water could get in, and there's not very many. I mean, it's a very clean looking side to a car really, and it's still, obviously the car's still facing down the driveway, down there. So just take you through what I've done. So I started passively putting water through all of the gaps and seams that I could find, and then leaving it a few minutes and seeing sort of if any water ended up on the inside. And I started off as low down as I could. So from down here we've got this panel that runs all the way along the bottom of the door, and that's actually bolted on underneath here, and then this rear section just clips out, and that's gone, and there's just monocoque underneath there. But that's absolutely fine. I put passively, I was just allowing water from a hose just gently to roll down there, and it rolled straight off. I mean, I'm sure some went into the crack, but literally there was nothing after 15 minutes of doing it, nothing showing on the inside of the car. Car's locked. There you go. So the next thing to do was open the door, and apart from looking at the door seals, which are absolutely fine, and I've just taken this off for the time being just to show you in a moment, I started looking down here, and this piece here is like a piece of sort of semi-flexible rubber, and I put more water through there and allowed that to drain off, and I think there's drain holes in there that put it through, and then again that just drops off underneath the car in the holes. But I put quite a lot of water down through there slowly, like rainwater, passively, and then looked over to see whether anything was coming out from here and rolling down, or whether or not there was a seam down there, any water was there bubbling up, and there was nothing. It was just as dry as a bone, so that's absolutely fine. So I started to work up a little bit higher, and I thought I'm just going to try on the roof, because there is a ridge here, so I can pour water gently here and it will follow the line all the way down at the tailgate to the back, and it did. So I poured, there's basically the hole there is where the hinge is, and it's like got a plastic backing to it, and I poured lots of water down through there slowly, and I had no problem at all. All of it ran off after about half an hour. None of it had filtered its way through the car and down to wherever I could see it. And the next thing, of course, was this rear window. Now I've had this rear window out before, and basically what happens with this rear window, I think that could be one of these little screws here, or maybe that one there. I can't remember what I did now, but I'll find it again. But you can take that out, and I've had that out, and it's quite, it fits in there quite firmly. I was very happy that it was all put back properly. I can see it's packed back properly as it should be, and it matches the other side perfectly. And there really is no issue with that. I looked at, obviously, all this down here. This is just so you've got the actual door itself. This is the metal. Pull the camera out a little bit. This is all the metal. This bit basically pulls off absolutely fine, no problem at all, running all up there. This section here is like a rubbery sort of cover all the way up through there, quite a flexible rubbery cover. Now some water comes out, if you put water in through this top part here, some of it will come out underneath this cover. That does pop out if you want it to, but most of it goes down. If I just pull this out slightly, most of it, you can see the bottom of the window there, and most of the rainwater just falls down into the void, which is between the outer car and the inner thing here, and it just literally follows the line of this all the way down, and then comes out of the drainage holes there and down underneath at the front. So that's absolutely fine. So, but that set me up thinking, clearly water going in here as it's designed to do, and draining off underneath the car is absolutely fine, but clearly that water, if it's going through passively and slowly, is going to basically roll down the inside of this section here, and it's going to get to this area, and you would imagine that by then it would just drop off and go whichever way it's going to go down the drain hole. However, I think if I look inside here, that area is directly adjacent to this piece of body sealer that was, I mean, I haven't done this, is factory body sealer when the car was manufactured. And I thought, okay, so what's going on here? And I had a closer look and I saw some little black marks. I thought, what the hell is that? And it was water. I thought, shit, I found it. And what it is, I think that's actually not a bad picture. Just there, you can see just there a split going down there, and there was water coming out of there, coming along to the centre, and I did mark it, and that's, I just said that's quite obvious. That is a split just there, and come back onto this section here. Not quite so obvious, but it's just in there, and there's a split just in there. And on all three of those sections, when I was putting water through passively, I was getting runoffs of water going down. And of course, where's that one going to go? But straight into that bin there. The middle one is going to go straight into there and down those holes, or probably roll back into that area there. This one was definitely rolling down and hitting the top of this, coming down, and it would either fall off there and go to there where I had a pool of water the other day, or it will go to this area here, and you can see it's been raining, so I've got water in there. But obviously there's a hole, that's just a seam, it's not sealed that. And when I look at the back, there's actually a section there that is basically a seam, and I can already feel that there is a hole going through there. I did notice right bang in this corner, there's a big lump of sealer there with that black thing. There is actually a hole there, but I think that was by design, or that was just, I don't, no water's coming out through there. But it's most certainly coming from, where is it, there, and here. I think I have found it. So when I was pushing water quite quickly through this section up here, when I was pushing water through there, I could see that I was getting some splashes on the underside of this piece, but I was actually forcing water through with the hose, and so it's obviously going to go where it's going to go. And I did get a few drips of water coming out from underneath this, but I thought, right, okay, that isn't the way that rainwater works. And when I put this section back together, I thought I'll do it now. Just pop that back under there, and then that little lumpy bit there sits into a little hole, which I'll probably find it again in a minute. Just pop that for the time being back in there, and back in. That's not in. And that is in. And that is all it does. So that's neat and tidy. So water's going in there. Water is designed to go in there. Water that goes in there is designed to go straight through to the bottom of the car and out. That's no problem, because I've now found that I've got the holes, all the splits in there. That's clearly where the water's coming through. So that is clearly a source of leaking. What I'm going to do is whip it off down to my my man tomorrow, and he's a really good guy. He Jags and Classics in Reading, and he really knows his stuff, and he worked on Jaguars, Bentleys, Astons, that type of thing. And I'll ask his advice, but I think what he's going to say to me is take this off, or strip it back, or prepare it in some way, reseal it, that section down there, do the same with that. Let's just make a surface for myself and reseal probably all the way through there. Let's just reseal it and see if we actually cure it that way. And if nothing else, I know that I'll have cleared up at least a leak. So if it's coming in anywhere else after that, then that's a fresh problem. But I think I found it, and I'll let you know.